So all this appears to be transpiring before our very eyes, bro. If you don't know, Young Thug has finally spoke on how he feels about Gunna after his release. Now, if you don't know, Gunna was a person who was locked up with Young Thug, was once really close to Young Thug, and had been a close collaborator of his. Now, in the deleted tweet, Young Thug has shared his sentiments on Gunna. It says here, Gunna, stop acting like we friends on the internet. I don't know you, my guy. Now, this is crazy considering that Gunna was a person that was involved in the RICO case for the YSL trial. Now, Gunna, a long time ago, before this trial even started and before it got even deep, Gunna had took a plea. Now, the plea that Gunna had took was to admit that YSL was a gang and they would let him go. Before actually being released, Gunna had made a statement saying, while I have agreed to always be truthful, I want to make it perfectly clear that I have not made any statements, have not been interviewed, have not cooperated, have not agreed to testify or be a witness for or against any party in this case, and have absolutely no intention of being involved in the trial process in any way. The rapper wrote in a statement after his release last December. Now, several rappers had something to say, one being Lil Durk saying that he doesn't like rats, he doesn't like anything like that, which is crazy because now Lil Durk is locked up himself, and we'll have to see if he actually lives up to his own words. But going back to Gunna here, Gunna was trying to say in that statement that he didn't cooperate, he didn't give a statement, he didn't say anything. However, you did admit that YSL was a gang, and that's all they really needed from Gunna. All they needed from Gunna was just to admit that YSL was a gang. Him doing that affected the case more than anything because the whole time at the beginning of the trial, they were always trying to say that YSL was not a gang and that it standed for young, successful life, truly humble under God. That's when all those memes started coming out online because they were openly trying to get the courts to understand that YSL wasn't a gang. Gunna taking the plea deal that he took, he had to admit that YSL was a gang, which opened a can of worms for everybody a part of this case, including Young Thug. What if Gunna didn't say that YSL was a gang? What if he just stayed quiet the whole time? And Thug did what he did. This goes back to Young Thug's old tweet when he had talked about a real plea deal, Jack. That was what everybody was talking about, that this was a diss. This was a diss because he was saying that he took a real plea, not a plea that could have jeopardized his co-defendants, not a plea that could have jeopardized everybody else in YSL. This was a situation that became even more jeopardizing to everybody a part of the case once Gunna admitted that YSL is a gang. Now, even though I know that Young Thug deleted this tweet, it doesn't delete the fact that this is how he truly feels about Gunna and what he did. Now, this is crazy because now we finally could tell the people who've been saying, well, let's just wait until Young Thug gets out. Gunna needs an apology. Gunna, I don't know why they're disrespecting Gunna like this. He needs to be apologized for the way the internet is talking about him. Bro, Young Thug is actually standing on business and letting people know, bro, I ain't rocking with Gunna at all. Stop acting like we friends on the internet. I don't know you, my guy. Stay away from me. Which I don't understand because if you looked at the trial when Young Thug was released, Young Thug said that he could still collaborate with Gunna, or the court said that he could still collaborate with Gunna. That could have just been for publicity. That could have just been for the courts to understand that he's still going to work with Gunna, like there's no ill will. You know, he's not going to take the snitch approach. But apparently he is, because apparently he's calling Gunna. He's not calling Gunna a snitch, but he's implying that he doesn't rock with him because of what he did. But everybody else knows that Gunna had told on the gang. Gunna had told on YSL. If Gunna didn't tell, who knows? Maybe Young Thug wouldn't do 40 years. Maybe Young Thug would do less time. Maybe they would have gotten away scot-free. Who knows how this case would have changed if Gunna didn't say what he said. If he didn't take the plea deal, and we're going back, a real plea deal, Jack, we know that this tweet right here is in reference to Gunna now. But y'all tell me how y'all feel about Young Thug finally opening up about Gunna and how he feels about their friendship, how he feels like they're not friends anymore, and to stop acting like they're friends on the internet. I mean, this was something that people were talking about for a really long time. And now we actually know how Young Thug feels. So y'all tell me how y'all feel in the comments, bro. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video, man. Peace.